Welcome back to Life 100 Podcast. This is Rosie, and today we are having a celebration, a grand fiesta of our season finale, a second season celebrating you. We are celebrating your feedback, the love that you have showed us, and the tips that you have heard this season to live a better life. And our guests gave us so much information to go into this adventure. So here they are. Olga, Michele, Much Too Much Band, Lina, Baraah, the Women History Month, Erin, Cody, Lorena, Pamela, Dr. Trippett, Hijas, and Martha. Let's hear from Olga Adler and Austin businesswomen.
I want to wish to all the beginning entrepreneurs and startup women-owned businesses to think outside the box. Think 5 years from now, look back and think, what will we want to have 5 years from now that we don't have now? And I know it's a little hard. You kind of have to be very creative and delve into science fiction mentality, but sometimes it works. You just think about, we don't have something now, but I really wish we did, and go for it.
And now we continue with Michele Arana, who is going to talk to us about the beauty of horses and the best way to care for them.
I wanted to work with the horses, and as someone who's always been very compassionate, I wanted to be able to help people help their horses. Because so many times I would talk to people or see things or experience things and realize that so many of the issues or things was because of a lack of education, lack of knowledge and understanding. I thought, why not connect the dots, fill in the gaps for people, get that understanding on fundamental level for people so that they can grow and be the best versions of themselves for their horses, so that their horses could be their best as well.
And you know, it's time to play the music with Much Too Much Band from here, Austin, Texas.
We really love to see is when we're performing and someone just kind of closes their eyes and maybe sways back and forth and really just feels the music. And like you're saying, even if they don't come up and speak to us after the show, it is a really touching, affirming thing.
Absolutely.
And something that I know we both kind of struggle with within the music industry, especially the business side of it, is the self-promotion and the ego that often accompanies artists navigating this line of being in the spotlight, playing the role of performer. But really what grounds us, and I always come back to, is that connection and the heart, like Erin was saying, the heart and soul that we put into it, that we can see reflected back at us through the faces of others. And that is truly why we do this.
Mi amiga Lina, my friend Lina, talking about mothers and daughters, hablando de esa relación de madre e hija.
Es lo que yo te decía, adaptarse a lo nuevo, porque si no se amarga uno, le amarga uno el ratico a ellas, y esa no es la idea, porque la vida es corta y hay que vivirla bien, y hay que vivirla tranquila, feliz en lo más posible que se pueda, porque son muy poquitos los espacios que ya tú tienes.
And taking care of our bodies, our health and wellness with Baraah Attal.
My goal is to really educate people on herbs, because in having people actually cook the herbs is also a medicinal property that we learn in school. Like touching the herbs, cooking it is all an experience of its own. And like with holistic medicine, the interest has rose a lot. A lot of people were like, we have Western medicine, what about Eastern medicine? And my goal is to bridge the two together and for people to really, really understand herbs and how to take them safely. During my schooling, I had a lot of internships at doctors' offices, and we were able to integrate the holistic side. With both worlds working together has made such a difference in patients' health.
And of course, we had to celebrate the Women History Month. Estamos celebrando el mes de la historia de la mujer, que es un mes dedicado a reflexionar y celebrar las contribuciones de las mujeres a la historia de los Estados Unidos, que a menudo sabemos que pasan por alto. Yo he tenido la satisfacción de conocer a personas magníficas con la dedicación y determinación de hacer cambios positivos en nuestra historia. Así que yo te celebro. Also, we talk about sustainable living, about recycling and reusing, and how we can do better in easy steps so the environment and everything around us will be a better place with Karen Acosta.
I just want to encourage everybody to put their part, to be conscious on how we purchase, on how we live, on the changes we do, on choices we make. Don't take for granted our natural resources. Talk about it, research, educate yourself. It can become a lifestyle, and that at the end of the day is going to have a great impact. Please think about your future generations and that you are taking care of the environment and give them the opportunity to enjoy the things that you have been able to enjoy, and nature that you have been able to enjoy. It's in each and every one of us to do something about it, to make our part.
And what about that special episode where we combine music, hiking the mountains in Switzerland, going to France, and being present during the Women's World Cup Championship with my friend Cody?
And there was this 10-mile hike up in the Swiss Alps that I was like, oh, like this won't be that bad. And we get up there and there's just snow everywhere. And it was 10 miles. It took us about 8.5 hours to hike because we had to go way up into the mountains, and then it was kind of up, and then a lot of it was across to get to this train station that took you back down. And there was just so much snow. You know, it's like two girls from Texas trying to walk around on snow, and we're like, our feet kept falling through it. And at certain points we had to like slide down, and we were just laughing because people that you could tell were more locals than we were. And then we got there and they had a local band, kind of like a drum line, walking around the stadium doing that in the beginning, and that was really cool. So I'd say probably 15 minutes left, you kind of started to feel the stadium. Okay, we're ready for this to be over. Let's start celebrating. And then they blew the whistle, and then all the players on the bench ran onto the field. The crowd and the whole stadium went crazy. And then we stayed all throughout the trophy ceremony, and then they did a lap around the stadium, and they kind of stayed in our section a little bit, and everybody was yelling and going crazy, and it was so fun.
And now, y ahora, we are going to have Lorena Legarreta talking about Dish and Dames that was done in English and in Spanish.
Dish and Dames is a social media platform. We're focused on being on Instagram, and we celebrate women in culinary. How that came about is really all about me not seeing the representation of culinary women in the media or being highlighted anywhere locally. And that's really what sparked my interest. I really wanted to highlight more women. Hay varios roles que también pueden tomar en esta industria. Por ejemplo, si les gusta operaciones, uno puede ser gerente de un restaurante, gerente de un negocio de nomás de comida como bodega. Si les gusta vino, pueden hacer vino, vender vino. Si les gustan hacer galletas, pueden hacer solamente galletas. Hay muchos diversos roles de veras en esta industria. Con un diplomado pueden ser maestros, pueden ayudar en cómo hacer recipes develop, cómo es que se cocina algo, cosas así. Hay muchos diferentes roles, Rosy.
And let's remember about learning to code in easy steps. Pamela Price is indeed a woman who has made history, and her YouTube channel, Jumpstart Code, can make possible for you to learn the fundamentals and start a career in this field.
My channel will be one that people really relate to the style of the way that I explain things. I had a student once tell me, you teach this like you remember what it was like not to know it. And to me, that was the highest compliment that I've ever gotten from a student. Because what I teach is the fundamentals. And I really enjoy that. I think every teacher, anybody who likes teaching, you have to have a passion for teaching. But then you have to discover the level of teaching that works for you. And what I hope my classes do is really get them excited and motivated about continuing their journey in computer science.
And this episode that is so significant, talking about living to the fullest with Trippett, a young doctor working in hospice units, and the things that her patients have shared with her. Very significant, uplifting, and something that it will last forever.
I'm only 27, Right now is usually the time for everyone's chasing something, chasing their dreams. In that chase, you kind of forget that you need to also be living life. And what your version of what living life may differ once you go work in this unit. Once I've worked in this unit, it's more about experiences and more about the connections and the relationships that you have with your loved ones and your friends and just the bonds that you create with people, really.
And then we conclude the season with the beauty of friendship with my dear Ikis and her friend Marta that took us through that journey of friendship. Es in Spanish, es en español y nos dan tremenda información. They give us amazing information on how to cultivate a relationship, a friendship that lasts for years. ¿En qué se basa una amistad así de por vida?
Eso es el respeto y el saber aceptar a las personas tales y como son, con todos los defectos que tenemos, con todas las virtudes, con los días buenos, con los días malos, y a veces uno percibe las cosas de otra manera y esa mano amiga viene y dice no lo tomes a mal, no lo veas así, hay otras soluciones. Eso vale un montón.
Debe ser honesto, debe ser sincero. Uno tiene que siempre tener la posibilidad de ver el otro punto de vista. No tiene que estar de acuerdo, pero por lo menos entenderlo.
Wow, what a season. Thank you so much for all your feedback, for the time you have to go in commenting and recommending, sharing, and letting me know the things that you want to listen, because this is for you. I am so happy that I have the opportunity to spend this time with you. And we are ready to go for season number 3. So until then, like, comment, subscribe, and go to my Instagram. Go wherever you prefer to listen to the podcast. Go there and leave a review, leave a comment, because like I always say, life is better when we live it at 100. Gracias, amigos. Muchas gracias de corazón. Aquí te habla Rosy y hasta la próxima.